man, the injuries just keep on coming. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Hot Stove videocast, and today we're going to be recapping this afternoon's game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Toronto Blue Jays as the Phillies lose 6-3 to the Blue Jays as they lose the final game of the 4-game series, but they still win the series. 3 out of 4. I'm still happy with the series. I said going into this series, I said I'll be happy with the split. Well, we won 3 out of 4. It's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Adonis Medina is on the mound for the Phillies today. Our number 6 prospect. We called him up yesterday. I forgot to talk about it this morning. I got to see him pitch. He's a former number 1 prospect, by the way. Boy, did he fall off. He had a 4.94 ERA down at Lehigh Valley before getting called up. But I actually got to see him pitch in March when I was at the Philly spring training facility, Spectrum Field in Clearwater. That was pretty cool. But boy, he really fell off the prospect list. Yeah, he's actually liked a few of my Instagram photos before, which is pretty cool. So he's familiar with my account. So he did not do very well on the mound today. Now, guys, before getting into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. But guys, as I said in the beginning of this video, more injuries are just starting to happen. Bryce Harper. Oh my goodness gracious, he exited the game in the bottom of the 7th inning after striking out with the bases loaded with nobody out, which no one really mentioned. He had bases loaded, nobody out, and he went down on strikes. That can't happen, man. Fundamental baseball. I tell you, he's not been very clutch this year. Not like he was last year. But anyway, he has lower back soreness, according to manager Joe Girardi. Unknown if he's going to play tomorrow. We have a 4-game series in Washington, D.C. Unknown if he's going to play tomorrow. He said JT is not going to be behind home plate tomorrow. He could DH tomorrow. So that's a little update here. They hope to get Hoskins back by the Sunday game next week, which is our final game of the season against the Tampa Bay Rays. They hope to get him back by then. They say he's going to swing a bat this week. I think JT was running a little bit today, so that's a good sign. They said they might have him DH tomorrow, but he will definitely not be behind home plate for a little while. But the Harper, that's a whole other story. They said he's been battling this lower back stiffness, soreness, whatever you want to call it, earlier in the season. But now he said it reared its ugly head, which now it's starting to show. Now for Harper to go out of his way to leave the game, that is not Bryce Harper. I mean, something really was not uncomfortable for him. For him to just leave like that, that's not Bryce Harper. I'm just telling you right now, that's not his attitude. I tell you, he fights. He hates when he's not in the starting lineup. He wants to play, and for him to take himself out of the game, it really says something. That's not good. That's not a good sign at all. And I'm hoping that maybe it's just because you could have everybody's had back pain, right? I mean, you feel it. And then, the next morning you wake up, you feel a lot better. So I'm hoping that this is what this is. We need him. If we're going to make the playoffs here, just missing him 2 or 3 games, this would be huge. This would be a huge problem for this Phillies team. I mean, we need him, especially with the injuries of Hoskins and Realmuto. I tell you, this team is at the injury bug. Jake Arrieta, Rhys Hoskins, JT Realmuto, Kyle Garrick. I know he's not very good, but you could throw him in there as well. That's just this, and now Harper. It's just like, oh my goodness gracious. But guys, let's get into this game. Adonis Medina is on the mound for the Phillies today, making his major league debut. He was not great at all. He was not very good at all. Had a horrible first. He balked and he did all this thing, all the shenanigans on top of the first. He settled down a little bit. But guys, Heath Hembree's struggles continue. This guy, you can't even sugarcoat it. This guy is just flat out terrible. Our bullpen is flat out terrible. I mean, I knew last night was a miracle. I knew it was a miracle. So guys, let's get right into the scoring summary in the top of the first inning. Adonis Medina on the mound facing Teoscar Hernandez. Oh, Medina balks. And Biggio scores, and the Blue Jays take a 1-0 lead. How about you get your first run of the ball game, give up our first run of the ball game on a balk? That's just... And we've been doing that a lot lately. Hector Neris did that the other day against the Mets. It's like, oh my goodness gracious. Same inning, Luis Gurriel Jr. singles on a ground ball to left field to deflect it off of Didi Gregorius. Bo Bichette scores. And the Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead. So it's 2-0 top of the first inning. This guy's making his major league debut. Not a good start. Not a good start at all. He balked. He looked nervous or something. He had a lot. I mean, when he was runners to second and third, he major league debut. I mean, you're a little bit nervous. I mean, so I can understand that a little bit. Then at the bottom of the first inning, we strike back. We get one back. Is Didi Gregorius. Notorious has his walk-up song with Duran Duran. I love that. He doubles on a line drive to right field. Alec Bohm scores, who was able to get a little two-out rally going. Bryce Harper, Andrew McCutchen, and Bryce Harper both go down. We have 2 outs. We're getting a nice little two-out rally going. Alec Bohm singles. And then we have Didi Gregorius getting the job done, an RBI double. I love little two-out rallies we had there. That was great. That was one of the highlights of the game. It was not a very good game for the Phillies, but that was a highlight. Nice little two-out rally. Alec Bohm continues to do his job. Do I have to even say that anymore, man? This guy is great. We've had all these injuries. He's stepping it up. Didi Gregorius with a rough night the night before, but he was great today. Nice RBI double in the bottom of the first inning, make it a 2-1 ball game. Then we pick it up top of the 6th inning. Jonathan Davis doubles on a line drive to left field. Gurriel and Panic score, and the Blue Jays now take a 4-1 lead. Oh my goodness gracious. That was Heath Hembree who was on the mound when that happened. I told you, Medina settled down a little bit. I mean, after that rough first inning, he settled down. He still wasn't very good, but he was able to settle down. But Heath Hembree, you can't even sugarcoat it. He doesn't even have good stuff. He doesn't know how to locate it, but he doesn't even have good stuff. Like, his stuff is absolutely terrible. Like, he's just not good. I can't say it anymore. He's just not good, okay? And Alex Carr made that point today. He's just not good. Like, even as a cheap option, not good at all. It's even Brandon Workman. And I know, I'm going to keep saying this. I know I don't like Nick Pivetta. And it's true. I can't stand Nick Pivetta. But Nick Pivetta has a ton of potential. And to just give him up for these 2 bums, really, they're bums. They don't know how to, they're just terrible. They've been absolutely terrible. They've pitched like absolute bums for this Philly team. And for us to just give up Nick Pivetta and what was Connor C. I forget how I pronounce his last name. 2 guys with a lot of potential for just these 2 mediocre, below average relief pitchers is just, oh my gosh, it's just very, very mind-boggling to me. And Matt Klentak tried to make a good move here, but this is just really backfiring. Then in the top of the 7th inning, Teoscar Hernandez, who seemed to injure himself, as Andrew McCutchen lined out to right field, he made a great catch, banging against the wall. Looks like his foot got caught up in under the wall or something. He was limping. The trainer had to run all the way out to right field, the Blue Jays trainer. The game was paused for probably about 3-4 minutes. He was okay. Well, he seemed to be okay in this one as he drills a home run to center field, his 16th of the season, a 2-run shot that now makes it a 6-1 ball game, and the Blue Jays blew it open at that point. I knew it was over. I was sitting there thinking, like, I was just lifting, and I was watching the TV, and I'm like, oh, crap, game over. 6-1. Heath Hembree, oh, my goodness, he was on the mound for that one. No surprise there. Then in the bottom of his 7th inning, Alec Bohm singles on a ground ball to second base. Roman Quinn scores, and Rafael Marquez scores. It was a throwing error by Joe Panic. That allowed those 2 runs to score, but it did count as an infield single, though, for Alec Bohm, which is good. But I tell you what, even though it was an infield single, he still got the job done. He's still able to put the ball in play. But Bryce Harper was the batter before that, and he struck out with the bases loaded, as I talked about earlier. Just not fundamental baseball. Where is fundamental baseball in this game and age now? Alec Bohm was actually thrown out at second because he tried to advance to second. He was actually thrown out. And, so that's your ball. That's your scoring summary. 2 runs scored on that play, as I said. 6-3 your final score. The Phillies lose the final game of the 4-game series, but they win 3 out of 4, which I'm content with. I'm very, very content with that. As we take a little bit look at Andrew McCutchen. 0 for 4 today. It seems like he's getting a lot of one-hit games. Like he's batting .240 on the year. I don't know, man. He just doesn't look that great this year. Harper went 0 for 4 today. Exited the game. Phil Gosselin came in to relieve him. Played right field. Alec Bohm with another 2-hit day today. Didi Gregorius with that RBI double. Siggy getting a hit today. Adam Hazley, a rough 0 for 4 performance. But you know what, guys? Marquand, the young kid, the 121-year-old catcher, got a hit today as well. So, you know what, guys? Alec Bohm, I tell you, he's in the race for Rookie of the Year, NL Rookie of the Year, man. He's got my vote. He has got my vote. This guy has been unbelievable. We need him to step it up. He's there. Hey, you need an RBI single, he's there. He doesn't try to hit a home run every single time. He's a simple approach. I love his approach. Like, he's just cool. Like, he's just relaxed. You know, like, he goes up there, doesn't like have this huge look on his face. He just does the job. Like, almost reminds me so much of Anthony Rendon. Like, doesn't that seem like Anthony Rendon? Like, he just goes up there, has a simple approach, and no one ever talks about him. Anthony Rendon, he's batting like 290 with the Los Angeles Angels. Have you heard one word about Anthony Rendon this year? I haven't. I have not heard one word about him. It's just he's so underrated. I mean, Alec Boehm. I mean, he's having himself. He reminds me so much of Anthony Rendon. I mean, his simple approach gets the job done. He's not real emotional because Anthony Rendon's. A lot of people say he's a very boring guy, but he gets the job done. He's just a simple hitter. He is a very, very simple approach, and I love that about him. He just doesn't try to do too much. Adonis Medina, 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Again, not terrible. That first inning, if he didn't have that bad first inning, I'd say he did pretty well. But he didn't go very deep. It was his major league debut, but not a great performance. That first inning was really, really ugly. That really was the backbreaker for him in this game. That was the deciding factor. But Brandon Workman had a nice clean inning today at the bullpen. That was nice to see. But not his buddy Heath Hembree, who pitched the third of an inning, 4 hits, 4 earned runs in an inning and a third. Man, that guy is just terrible. He is absolutely garbage. It's just, I can't tell you how bad he is. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But Brogdon and Morgan were able to, they were the guys who eventually relieved the rest of the game for the Phillies. They did their job. I mean, they didn't allow any runs, allowed a few base runners, but that was pretty much it. They did a lot better than Heath Hembree. Heath Hembree was garbage today, and I'm not surprised at all. It just goes to show you, man, this bullpen is just weak as water, as I talk about every single video, how bad our bullpen is. Even the video this morning, recapping last night's game. I mean, I tell you, it was a miracle last night. We won 3-1. I mean, it wasn't even it was like Tommy Hunter, David Phelps. It wasn't even guys like Heath Hembree or Brandon Workman, guys who have been absolutely struggling. It was nice to see Brandon Workman have a nice inning relief today. But I will say that. But the Bryce Harper injury just really it's just a oh my gosh, it's such a bad thing for this team, man. If he goes out for an extended period of time, this is going to be very bad for this Phillies team to win, for us to play without him. I mean, I know that even when he was slumping, going 0 for 4, going 1 for 4, I know we were able to win without him really producing much. But he's starting to heat up. He's batting like 277 in his last like 10 games. He's hit like 3 home runs. Launching home runs in the second deck, getting these clutch 2-out doubles, 2-RBI doubles. I mean, like, we need him, right? We need him, So like we need him in right field, very badly. So hopefully he will be okay. They're gonna evaluate him tonight. They're in Washington D.C. Joe Girardi said that the hotel in D.C. they're gonna actually do some work on him. They're gonna evaluate him, make sure that he's comfortable. They're gonna check on him tomorrow morning in the nation's capital to see how he's feeling. I mean, I'm sure he wants to go out there and play against his former team. I mean, I'm sure he'd love to go out there and play against his former team. I sure want to see it. But he needs to be, we don't want him to injure himself even more, okay? If he's feeling a little tight tomorrow morning, maybe you say, all right, Bryce, we could maybe bring you in for a pinch hit opportunity. Not really big. Pinch hitting isn't really as big of a deal this year now that we have DH. I tell you, man, it changes the whole strategy of the game. But we do not, because back problems can be very, very big. You do not want to mess with a back problem. So they are a little bit cautious. I wouldn't be surprised not to see him in the starting lineup tomorrow. I would not be surprised if he was not in the starting lineup tomorrow. And I wouldn't be that upset because, I do not want to risk having him out for an extended period of time. Even though the season is almost over, we are, most likely going to make the playoffs. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media, link in the description section, at Phillies Hot Stove, Instagram, at HartFanX, Instagram. Call or text 267-225-3392. Email me, PhilliesHotStove@gmail.com. The Phillies start a 4-game series against the defending World Series champion Washington Nationals. The first game starts at 6:05 tomorrow night. Zach Wheeler on the mound for the Phils, 4-0 with a 2.62 ERA, going against Nationals Anibal Sanchez, 2-6 with a 7.38 ERA. The Phillies should win tomorrow night. Hopefully we get to see Bryce Harper. If we don't, I won't be that upset. But I'm just hoping that he's going to be okay, guys. I apologize Joe couldn't come on tonight. He was busy. I hope to have him on maybe in the Tampa Bay series. I'll talk to you later. Let's go Phils. I'll see you guys.